Hey, this is Vuyanzi, maybe Coach Vuyanzi, and we said these are the Braless Chronicles. The bras have come off for this. Again, just a reminder, why am I doing this? Well, my public relations strategist said people need to know about you. I'm sure she didn't mean what I'm doing now, but I have kept my life so private over the past couple of years, especially. What I have said about myself has been super, super intentional. And what I haven't said about myself has been intentional too. So we're taking it back, and giving you some tea on me. And these are, I said the Braless Chronicles, but this is the Braless Bios. And this is part 4, Turbulent Times. So to date, I think baby daddy number 2, remember I told you baby daddy number 2 is the father of 2 because there were 2 boys in my womb. He might be still to date, decades later, the longest relationship that I ever had with someone, because I know that we were off and on about 4 years. Yeah, we were off and on about 4 years. And how can I say that? Well, the boyfriend that I just broke up with, that was 3 years. And the person who I was married to, and that's going to be one of the parts here too. We were together for just like 3 years. So, yeah. So baby daddy number 2, disclaimer in case he ever sees this, you know who you are. This is my story to tell. You are welcome to tell your story at any given time. I will not purposely talk bad about you. I'll just try to stick with the facts, just the facts. So when we left off, I told you that one of the things that I said to him is, yo, like, that's how I talk, and that's how he used to talk. And I still kind of talk like that now, but like, you're going to be there. And he said, yes, I'm going to be there. So I remember just partying. And let me be clear, when I said partying, I wasn't drinking or smoking, because I had 2 precious human beings inside of me, but like going out and just having fun at parties, because I knew once those twins were born, that was going to be it. So in the meantime, he and I had been together. It was turbulent times. We had so many ups and downs, and I'll just give you a few. One of them was the thorn in our relationship, and that was, can't believe I'm saying this, another woman. Another woman that I think eventually I probably became the other woman from the other woman. So I was the woman, and in college, where he went in school in northern New Jersey, he met a woman that I believe that he loved. Someone here can refute me if they know the situation. I believe that he loved, and now I'm going to say this out loud, and I never said this out loud, more than me. Although, eventually I had his kids, but he was with her and she knew about me. Like, we knew about each other, and that's what the off and on was. But I just remember there were the highs were whatever they were. The lows were some things I will share really quickly. I won't go into graphic detail, but I'll share them because what I found was that it was, from both sides, some domestic violence that went on. One of them being one day in my house. I don't know where my family was at this time. Nobody else was home. And we had been arguing all day. We were violent towards one another. I remember that I think, like, I was feeling so angry about whatever the situation was. Like, I was screaming, the veins probably popping out of my neck, and maybe this one, sometimes it pops out of my head. And then I was like, oh, and I remember like even picking up, let's just say it could have been used as a weapon. It was a kitchen item that could be used also as a weapon, like picking it up, like, what? You come near me. And maybe he had done something to me. I don't know. That day was crazy. And I do remember that argument went on and on and on until something did happen. I won't go into the detail of that. But the thing that happened rendered me, I think I was maybe unconscious for like a minute or two. I'm not really sure how long that span of time was, but I remember him leaving. He said, "I'm going to go before I kill you." And you see me smiling and telling this story because that's who I am. However, thinking that me being angry the way I was okay, that was not okay. That is definitely in the area of domestic violence with the way I handled things, as well as the way he handled things. A lot of people want to put it on one person, but I want to use this as a lesson to all in a relationship. Listen, I have not been successful at any relationship, hence why I'm single now. However, what I can say, and I don't think this needs success, is like, yo, when you get mad, this is where emotional intelligence comes in. This is where self-awareness comes in. This is where walking the hell away comes in. Walk away and don't let your ego and your pride drive your behavior, because it won't end well every time. So to finish up this story really quickly is that we had so many ups and downs, even ones that were public displays of just craziness and nonsense between the two of us. And I remember it getting to a point, the boys were, the twins, when I say the boys, I mean the twins. The twins, I feel like they were maybe 2 or 3 years old, maybe 4, but I feel like they were pretty young. So I think about 3 years old. So I was feeling like this thing is coming to an end. Like this relationship, like I wanted to break up with him. And I remember, and he may have felt the same about me too, but I remember thinking that, like, oh, if I break up with him, I have to start all over again. Oh my gosh, who wants to go through that? The devil you do know is better than the devil you don't know. These are piss poor excuses to stay with someone. And I'll say that for the people out in the back. Those are piss poor excuses to stay with someone. And that's what I did, but I was staying with him. And then I did this. I prayed. And I was like, God, I want to break up with him, but I can't, or I won't. I don't know how long it was in between me praying this prayer and getting this phone call, but eventually this is what happened. And the time seems like it was like this. I don't know if it was, or if it was a few weeks or a few months, but I prayed that prayer to God, and however time frame it was, I got this call from baby daddy number 2. He was having some problems, I think, in school, and just some things weren't going right for him as far as I knew, although I didn't know details of it. And he said to me, yo, I have this friend who lives in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Yeah, I said where he went to. I don't care. I'm not going to say his name. And there's plenty of baby daddy number 2s, I'm sure, in New Bedford, Massachusetts. And he said he lives up in Massachusetts. He said I could come up there and kind of get myself together. And it was like, I think our relationship at that point was kind of like on the rocks anyway, really, really on the rocks anyway. Not maybe quite broken up. Maybe we were, but it just was not what it was. And so he just was calling to tell me. And it was just like, that call spiritually was a release, a letting go of him. And I said, well, you know, if that's going to help you to get things together, then do what you have to do. And eventually he left. And when he left. And from that relationship, believe it or not, he really wasn't involved with his son. He made a choice. That was a choice. I wasn't one of these baby mamas who are like, you not with me. You can't see my son. I'm sorry. That's not me. He had a choice. And maybe from the time, let's say they were about maybe 4 or 5 until they graduated high school, 18 years old, not 18 years, 18 years old, I can count on one hand that maybe he chose to see his kids about 3 times. And the last time I saw him was at their high school graduation. I contacted his sister, who sees this. She knows that I love her. She is my sister to this day. That has nothing to do with her. Their auntie. And I said, please tell your brother to come to his kids' high school graduation. He wound up having more children there. I don't know how many, but these 2 were his oldest. And he came, and so this is like a little addendum to the story, because obviously my kids are 18. I haven't seen him in years, but I told him to come because you can call this revenge. I wanted him to see their success, that they did it without him. And that is why I invited him. Call me wrong all you want. I never withheld his children from him. He made a choice. Different life choices, and that's why I invited him. I didn't tell them. And then he showed up with their paternal family, and I remember one of my sons saying, he came upstairs, I was getting ready, he's like, yo, Mom, you're gonna be pissed. Guess who's here? And I said, your dad. I said, I invited him so he could see what you guys were able to do without him being involved in your life. And that is the end of part 4. Turbulent times. But those boys, baby A and baby B, they are beautiful, beautiful men, inside and out. Mwah. All right, Queen. See you for part 5.